Coach, thanks as always for joining us on the call, particularly on a short week. If we just get your thoughts on the game against Temple, maybe a few words about Shane's performance and what you expect to see as you're back in action Thursday against Houston, please.
All right, thanks for having me, and appreciate working with me and to switch my time. We had practice this morning, and so again, appreciate working with me. I thought we played pretty well in the ball game. I thought we started fast. We felt like that was going to be important for us to get off to a good start. I thought we executed pretty well offensively, particularly in the first half. We were able to make some first downs and sustain some drives, and I thought our defense got off to a really, really fast start. I think, we held them 3 and out a number of series, I think 4 out of 5 series, something like that early in the ball game. And so, we were able to get off the field, and our offense was executing, and got off to a pretty good, start and a good lead. We hit a little bit of a lull, I thought, in the third quarter where we didn't play particularly well. We had a couple of short fields. We didn't, get the ball in the end zone, and then and you got to give Temple credit. They stuffed us on a 4th and goal, and we didn't get the ball in the end zone there. So clearly we got to get those mistakes fixed, but I thought overall it was a good, one of our better performances. I thought we played good on both sides of the ball. I thought our kicking game, was good enough to give us a chance to win, and so it was a good win for us. As you said, we have a short week this week. Sometimes those are tough. We had a pretty physical, tough practice today that was less than 40 hours, from when we finished a game the other day. And, it's just tough on your players physically, tough on your players, to have a short turnaround like this. But the good thing is Houston's going through the same thing. And so we just got to do a good job of getting ourselves ready to play. There's always a balance you have to strike between working hard enough and making sure you're not overworking your players. And so we're trying to find that balance this week and hopefully get our guys, prepared and able to play fresh and fast on Thursday night against a really good Houston team. When you look at Houston, it's always the same with those guys, really good, fast, athletic, skill position players on both sides of the ball. I think the receiver, Stevenson's probably one of the better receivers in college football. Just really dynamic, explosive. They have good backs. They've got good depth at those skill positions. And then when you look at the speed on defense, they have a lot of guys that can really run. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
Take questions for Coach Sonny Dykes, please. *1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
Bill Embody with 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Sonny. I've just been watching that safety position with Trevor Denbo and Chase Cromartie especially this season. What have you seen from Chase that allowed him to kind of overtake somebody like Chevin Callaway, Cameron Jones, and just come in right away and be so effective? And then how have you thought Trevor has kind of come along this season? I felt like kind of early on he was kind of struggling with tackling a little bit at times.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting deal with Trevor. If you go and you look at Trevor's history, he's gotten a couple of targeting calls against him, and he's just one of those guys that really plays physical, hits guys. Had a targeting call against North Texas, his first start last year. And I think in a lot of ways it's made him a little bit gun shy, at tackling at times. And, you can see there are times when, he's just a little bit hesitant. He's one of those guys that's really physical and is really explosive and good at breaking on the ball and anticipating where the ball is going to go. So I think there's been some, a little bit of hesitation for him at times, and I think he's working through that. He's been a little bit banged up as well. And so probably didn't play his best for a couple of weeks, but thought he certainly played the best game he's played in a very long time. Saturday, played really physical, really tackled well, thought he covered well. So, it was a really good performance by him. It's good to see him feeling good again, and I think getting some confidence back. I think Chase has been a little bit of a surprise. We knew when we recruited him We loved him. He came to our camp. He was we identified him early, and it just worked out where he kind of fell into our lap a little bit from a recruiting standpoint. And, we thought he could really run, was really athletic, and played physical for a young guy. And then he got here and picked everything up really fast. And I think that's always the key to playing early, is just how quickly do you pick things up. It's pretty amazing. You look out there in the Arkansas State game, they're driving to win the game, and he's out there playing and played a lot of meaningful minutes, early in the season, and has just gotten more and more experience from it. He makes some mistakes like some young guys do from time to time, but he has really played well and has been a good, solid player for us, and somebody who has a really bright future, and we're really lucky we have him. You mentioned Chevin and Cam. They're both transfers that are, they got here over the summer, and they're picking things up. I think Chevin's probably a little bit ahead of Cam. Cam was a little bit banged up at times in camp, and hadn't always been able to practice. And that's the hardest position to play now, I think, in college football is safety, just because you have to do so many different things. You've got to obviously be able to play the pass. You've got to cover really fast inside receivers, but you also are involved in the run fit, and you have to kind of get everybody lined up and make a lot of checks and do a great job communicating. So, that's a tough position to play, and I think it's a real credit, to those guys that they're getting better and playing pretty well for us.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
And do we have any other questions for Coach Sonny Dykes, please? Star 1 on your telephone keypad if so. Coach, again, appreciate you giving us a few minutes in a short week, and look forward to talking to you once again next Monday.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Coach Sonny Dykes